Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel for episode 2, the Prem Preview. I will be reviewing, obviously, Sunday's fixtures and Saturday's fixtures, and then obviously the Arsenal game is later on today, because as this is being recorded, it is about 11 o'clock in the morning on New Year's Day. So, Happy New Year to everyone, yeah? Could get straight into it, could get into the Liverpool-West Ham result. Break that down. So, you're probably, first thing you're going to notice is Mohamed Salah is basically the cover for the Liverpool section, and for good reason. We heard all this Christmas tree, he's going to fall off now. Liverpool won the league that season. He posted the first Christmas tree post. I don't see the problem with it, by the way. It's not like he's doing anything, he just has a Christmas tree up. It's not like he has angel or anything religious, blah blah blah. He's just giving his kids Christmas. But let's ignore that because it's not even football. But he's just some player. 30 GA in December, going in January now, which is January now, is just mental. I think he will sign a new deal. I just think it's inevitable. There's no way that they will let him go, because it'll be more expensive. People don't realise that it would be more expensive to replace him, and I know he'll be on higher wages, but by the time you get a signing on fee for a new player, agent fees, transfer fee, and obviously the wages of the other player, there's not going to be anyone that's even remotely close to Salah in those numbers anyways in the world at the moment that's really available or even exists really that could do what Salah's doing on that right hand side in the Premier League for Liverpool. So yeah, 5-0 Liverpool against West Ham. Gakpo, Trent, Diaz, Salah and McAllister got the goals, I believe. Not sure about if it was McAllister or someone else. I think it was. To be honest, this is the one game I did not watch in the Premier League really this weekend. I was busy for that one. But the one thing that's I've seen the whole season is the fact that Klopp tried to play Cody Gakpo as a number 9 is absolutely criminal, because off that left hand side he's actually a baller, to be fair. Or he even tried to play Gakpo as an 8 for a while, I remember that. Even Diaz as the false 9 this season is absolutely he's absolutely cooked it. I know Diaz is mostly a purple patch player who doesn't get consistent form, but it's looking close to consistent form with Luis Diaz that you're going to get, to be honest, this season. He just looks more like he's more freedom as a false 9 for some reason, where he can get into pockets, pick up the ball and dribble with it, because Diaz's best ability is being able to pick the ball up and run at people, and when he's doing that, it's better for Liverpool and better for himself. But yeah, Liverpool could have run away from this league now easily, 10 points ahead of Chelsea, who are in 4th now. By the way, you can see it in the moving league table. Handy enough, isn't it? Chelsea are on 4 now, obviously, before even Arsenal play. Doesn't make a difference when Arsenal play, by the way. Yeah, 10 points behind them. Liverpool have a game in hand. City aren't going to catch up. Not hearing any of that. Oh, City, blah, blah. They won against Leicester. Could be, you know what I mean? Could get back into a rhythm with January transfer window. I don't believe that either. And Arsenal don't have what it takes. Saka's out injured, their best player, and they're just going to fall off more. So Liverpool have this league wrapped up, basically. Now, I'm not doing these games in any particular order. As you can tell, it's just kind of what's popping into my head. Next, Chelsea-Ipswich. And look, as you can see, it's Liam Delap on the cover. Mainly just because he's some player. It reminds me of, remember back in the day, I know I wouldn't have been 2000s era of football, but every Premier League team had a baller, a player that you'd look at and go, there's some player. You don't really have that in the Premier League these days. A lot of the lower teams just out there, if you get me. Like yo-yo teams, you wouldn't really look at them and go, geez, that's a good player. For an example, Southampton, they don't really have any like ballers per se, but Liam Delap is some player. By the way, before anyone thinks about it, I don't think he'll go back to City. I don't think City would have sold him stupidly and then rebought him in the January window. Or even the summer window, if I'm honest. I think that would be a bit stupid. I don't think United would look at him either. I think he'll stay Ipswich for the season anyways. Depending on how they do, he might even stay. I think people have this notion that a player always has to leave the club that they're at if they're performing better than them. That's not always the case. If you look at Zaha for years at Crystal Palace, JB Vardy at Leicester when they won the league, you don't always have to leave the club, you just stay there. But Chelsea, yeah, the honeymoon period's over with Maresca, isn't it? But this is what Chelsea fans kind of need, if that makes sense, because they need to see how he gets out of it. Because it's all well and good doing well when you're winning. But when you're not winning, you need to be able to get yourself out of that rut, if that makes sense. And how do you get out of it? And I think we'll see that with Maresca now. I'm not sure who their next game is. I probably should have checked, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's mostly a good thing because they're on track to get top 4 this season anyways. I think that's all Chelsea fans would have asked for. They would, all this title race stuff, to be honest, for Chelsea fans anyways. I know we were all looking at it as neutrals, maybe, saying that Chelsea are in a title race because obviously they were the only team that looked worthy of being in title race, if that makes sense, because obviously they were second behind Liverpool. There was only 7 points, 3 points behind. Obviously Liverpool had game hand at one stage, but yeah, Chelsea fans are probably just happy that the noise is over now. They can focus on themselves. It'd be interesting to see how Maresca bounces back in a way, because now their front three last few games hasn't played well. Sancho's not played well, Neto's not played well, Jackson's kind of on a drought, starting to go on a drought now, short enough one, but it's interesting to see how they bounce back from it, and yeah, be interesting enough anyways. But look, Ipswich as well, actually, I want to say on them, 7 points, closing the gap on United in the relegation battle. It's mad to say that. Yeah, I'll do my United piece last, but Ipswich, the thing about Ipswich is McKenna's a good coach. I think that was evident from the fact when he got them up from League One to the Championship and back-to-back promotions. And the fact he was at United for a good 3 years, so you can't really go wrong there. But McKenna's a decent coach. They play a decent football, which is, by the way, you don't need to play decent football. Your goal should be just stay in the Premier League. But if you're going to stay in the Premier League and you play decent football, that's a bonus. I have a weird feeling they'll stay up. I don't know why. I think they're just going to get better and better. And they've already beaten a few teams. Got results against a few teams this season. Obviously Chelsea 2-0, Tottenham, United draw. So it's the best way to stay up in the Premier League is to beat your relegation rivals and then try to get results against the top 6. And at the moment they look like they're doing that. So I think obviously they're in the relegation zone at the moment. They're 18th, but I have a weird feeling Wolves can fall in again. I feel like there's a chance that Everton can drop a bit deeper again. Obviously they're on a bit of picked up on form at the moment, but I think Everton could drop down again, as I said. United, no. I don't think United are going to get relegated. But yeah, that's on Chelsea and Ipswich. Now, next on to Tottenham, who bottled a 2-1 lead against Tottenham and conceded an 87-minute Strand Larsen dagger for a 2-2 draw. But look, I think they need to stop this Ange experiment at this rate. I think it's a bit similar to Ten Hag's situation at United. Obviously, Ange has played better football than Ten Hag, but you could look at it and go, right, those players aren't good enough, etc. Yeah, they aren't good enough. Tottenham need better squad. Obviously, there are a few injuries, and they're there putting Bergvall on the pitch and Archie Gray centre-back for a run of 4 games. But a lot of it is his fault too, and I think you look at it, and yeah, it is exactly like the United situation, because you look at it and you go, both bad sets of players, majority of the players' fault, but manager's a problem too, and if you could fix one of those problems, you fix the problem. That's what United have done. I know we've gotten worse under Amorim, but that's not really his fault in my opinion. I think well, it is his fault, but trying to make a change, change formation, change tactics, change everything, and when you're doing it with a bad set of players, it's going to take a while to change. So yeah, give Amorim time. We'll get into it in the United bit. I just spitballed that off the top of my head, but yeah, you need to change him as fast as you can. In my opinion, before the season gets worse than it already is. It's fallen into kind of United territory-ish, where you get pulled into somehow the bottom 5, sorry. But it's just a thing of he's too arrogant and stubborn in a way. He won't accept the fact that he needs to tweak his tactics slightly, because they're playing this gung-ho football, as I called it, and they're dealing with the consequences, if that makes sense, because no matter how much they're winning a game by, they always have this thing of we need to score more, and it's just not the mentality to have at times, because it's alright maybe being 2-0 up in the first half and then maybe going for a few more goals. That's different, that's fine. But when you're in the 80th minute against Wolves, maybe you decide, right, maybe we get another midfielder on, just to shore up the middle, defend the lead. But they just go. Ange just has them playing more. How do I put it? Ange just has them going as if they don't care about what's going on in their own half. They only care about what's going on in the other half, and that's scoring goals. But look, Ange is a big problem. You need to get rid of him, and obviously you need to reinforce. I don't think Tottenham will in January. I think Levy's too stubborn. They have this weird thing where they always invest for 2 windows, and then they have a window off, and then the next window after that is terrible. It's been going on for years. But look, 11th place for Tottenham, drew against Wolves. Wolves maybe new manager bounce at the moment. Let's see how long that lasts. Playing a very similar system to Gary O'Neill, by the way. Same formation, sorry. So it's not really much adapted. Maybe just better coaching, or maybe just a new manager bounce and Wolves will fall off again. Obviously they're above the relegation zone now. They are just above Ipswich is 17th. So that's more Tottenham and Wolves. Obviously more Tottenham, but yeah. Now on to City. They obviously won 2-0 against Leicester. On paper it doesn't look like a bad result, 2-0 against Leicester. But obviously they've broken the streak now. Now it's 2 wins in, 17? Wow, well done. But no, in all seriousness, Jamie Vardy, if he finishes those chances, it's a completely different game at 1-0. City look like their usual, play well for 15 minutes, put their foot off the gas, and then put themselves under pressure. Thing is, it's weird because in that second half, Leicester absolutely dominated. They looked like the better team, and for the last 25 of the first as well. Like, Leicester don't even play that bad football considering Roos joined mid-season. It's a bit of a weird situation because if Jamie Vardy finishes that chance, basically, if you didn't see it, cross comes in on the left-hand side. Jamie Vardy's on 6-yard box and kind of like taps it over the bar with his toe. Don't know how he missed. As long as he gets some sort of, even if he hits it with his studs, it goes in. It would have been 1-1 that stage. But look, maybe the rot's over for City. Maybe they can turn a leaf. Maybe they can get top 4. Who knows? But yeah, I think they desperately need reinforcement in January. I think anyone can see that. They need a 6. Obviously, they're not getting Bruno Guimaraes because Spain basically said that they think he's too expensive. So Mendy, Arsenal and City are apparently looking at him and don't know how true that is. I don't think they'd get him either. It's going to be really telling though, because if they spend in January, that means that they think they're going to be clear of the charges. And if they don't, I think that's basically them accepting the fact that the charges are going to go through. Because why would you spend money if you know that you're going to get banned or relegated or deducted points, etc.? But yeah, nothing was really tweaked for this game. They looked a bit faster with the ball at times, a bit more, how do I put it, menacing, if that's the only word I could take of, really, where they look like they actually were going to do something with it at times, unlike just playing it around for the sake of playing it around. Still, defensively, they're horrible. Vardy, I don't know how he got in Gary Neville's team season, by the way. I've seen that, absolutely abysmal from him. Vardy tried to play a pass back to Ortega, absolutely shanked it, and Vardy went around the keeper, but luckily Ortega basically saved it on the near post. But yeah, City looked, maybe it's just Leicester being it was Leicester being not clinical and City taking their chances, really. Haaland obviously scoring. Now he's 4 in the last 15 games, I think. Sorry, yeah, I'm right. But yeah, maybe it's an upturn for City. Don't really have much to say in City. I think they're out of the title race. Their goal would be top 4 now. The season's gone, really. Don't think they win the Champions League either. They don't have a good enough midfield for that. Because let's be honest, the midfield of, it was yesterday, wasn't it? Sorry, not yesterday. On I think it was on Sunday, of Kovacic, De Bruyne and Bernardo. It's not going to win you games, is it? Not enough legs and not enough defensive nous, if that makes sense. But yeah, let's see. Now, this is almost like a preview for the Arsenal, kind of a mini preview. Obviously, they're playing Brentford tonight at 5:30. More this evening, not really tonight. That Ipswich game, if you watched it, oh my, that was one of the most painful games of football I've ever watched. It was absolutely abysmal. I think any Arsenal fan will agree. They were lucky to go out with a win. Ipswich had chances, they didn't take them. Hutchinson was the best player on the pitch. I think I said that in episode 1 of the Football Chronicles. If you want to go back, if you want to tune in, if you want, I think it's clipped up for you. But look, just had to take a breather there. But when I think about this, the thing is about Saka is Arsenal's whole play runs through him, if that makes sense. Odegaard goes on that right hand side, Saka drifts on that right hand side. When Ben White in the team, he was overlapping on that side. Obviously Ben White's injured now, and even when he wasn't playing much this season on that right hand side. It was more Timber. But the point is, everything that Arsenal do runs through that right hand side, and now they basically don't have that right hand side at all, because Timber's having to be adjusted to not be a right back. He's having to play left back for some reason. He's playing party at right back. Saka's injured and Odegaard's not on form, so I think this could be a tricky one against Brentford. I can see it go one or two ways. I can see them steamrolling Brentford. By that I mean 3 or 4-0. Or I can see Brentford win. I don't know why I can't see it. I can't see a scrape win from Arsenal, or I can't see a draw either. I don't know why. I just feel like Arsenal they're obviously out in the title race. I think they're going to lose their head now in a way, and I think their fan base is a bit. Their manager suits their fan base, if that makes sense, because they're glorifying this. We're top of the league for 2024. Tell me when that's a trophy. How's that a trophy? What do you get for that? Are people going to be looking back in 20 years? Dad, who won the league for the calendar year 2024? Nobody's going to be looking at that. Nobody cares. Like, let's be realistic. Under Arteta, if Arsenal don't win a trophy this year, they are a glorified Tottenham. Arsenal slated Tottenham for doing exactly what they're doing right now when Tottenham were under Pochettino in a title race against Leicester. They slated them for the exact same thing. And now they're celebrating being top of the 2024 calendar. It's just shameless. Like, come back and win a trophy. Genuinely. Ten Hag's won more trophies than Arteta, by the way. I'll still never get over that. But yeah, I think it's just the fact that Saka's out. He's a massive player for them, and they're going to struggle without him, because a front three of, depends who they play, but my guess would be Jesus, Martinelli and Trossard. Does that fill anyone with confidence? You look at that and go, that's going to score goals. It doesn't. Martinelli's terrible. He reminds me of Garnacho. I won't say what I was going to say. Reminds me of Garnacho. Both players that just run with their head down, kick and run. They're frustrating footballers. Trossard, I did rate Trossard. This season he's fallen off a cliff though. He's genuinely fallen off a cliff. Jesus had 2 good games when they're both against Crystal Palace. He's just not a footballer, not a great footballer anymore. Arteta's run him into the ground. And Odegaard doesn't show up in the big moments, really. It's a consistent team. But look, Arsenal, as I said, out in the title race. I don't think they'll win the Carabao Cup. I think they'll get knocked out I think they'll lose to Liverpool in the final. And the FA Cup, they'll get past United. Yeah, they'll get past United. Even without Saka, we are washed. But yeah, Arsenal. Now, the United section. Obviously my team United. Looking at that lineup there I just wanted to put that up there because that was my lineup that I would have had. Realistic lineup, by the way, because he won't drop Bruno. For the Wolves game, before the Wolves game, and you look at it now and you're like, yeah, that's not it, is it? I'd take Malassia out in hindsight. At this rate I'd put Anthony there. I think we need some sort of attacking know-how on the wings. We don't have it. Yeah, I think obviously you see it's Onana, Mazraoui, De Ligt, Yoro. I think personally that's fine. I don't think Mazraoui can play as a wing back, really. I think he's a full back. And that's our problem. We have full backs playing in the wing back / winger positions, and it doesn't work because they're defensive. Dallo on that right, we have nobody else. We have nobody else one bit. Bruno, he won't drop Bruno, I don't think. So Bruno's bad, but we're worse without him somehow, if that makes sense. Like, how does that make sense? But it's a fact. It's genuinely a fact. Yeah, obviously I said I would have, in hindsight, I put Anthony on that side, then Manu, Ahmad and Højlund. I think Manu was our best player in that Newcastle game, by the way, when we lost 2-0. I thought that was going to be 6 or 7. That first 20 minutes was the worst half of football I've seen by United in the last 6 years. And I don't care what anyone says, it was absolutely awful. It was worse than the Tottenham 6-3 game. That first 20 minutes. But yeah, in hindsight, we deserved to lose that Newcastle game. Second half, we weren't even awful, by the way. Newcastle, but if you think about it, Newcastle just played a low block. They were like, right, come attack us. We know you can't score. So, yeah, we are just... We're problematic. And the fact that Ineos, by the way, Sir Jim the Ratcliffe has said there's no investment in January is a disgrace. The fact that you can come out and do all these cuts, I know these cuts, some people say they might need to happen. I think the way they've went around about it is horrible, though. Like, what? Some cuts are needed, yeah, you can cut down the workforce, etc. You see Elon Musk do it at Twitter, and they're whatever. That's just a random example. But you can't just sit there and say 40 grand a year to the ex-pro foundation, whatever, 40 grand a year is going to do anything for this football club. What does that do? Genuinely, in hindsight, what does 40 grand do? Absolutely nothing. It's just a waste of time, that cut, and it pisses me off. You're doing all these cuts and we can't sign anyone in January. Are you basically admitting that you wrote off this season in November? Well, it's already gone now anyways, but you can still win the Europa League. Genuinely, the knockouts, proper knockouts don't start till February, and you're telling me we can't win the Europa League if we actually got a few reinforcements in that can play on an actual decent system, Amorim system. Nah. But that's disgraceful from the owners. Newcastle game, Casemiro was an absolute disgrace, I think. That shot just epitomises everything, where he had loads of time and he just... I don't know which was worse. The one from outside the box about 80 yards where he booted it into the disabled stand. But don't even know if it's the disabled stand. All I know is he's booted it basically out of the stadium. And then obviously Manu put it on a play for him, and he's there blaming Manu for the pass when he had about 10 minutes to shoot. Like, 350 grand a week and you can't finish that. I don't care where you play. 350 grand a week and you're blaming Manu for that. It's disgusting. Delo was shit again. Mazraoui first 3 minutes got absolutely sent by Gordon, basically sent him sliding as well. Delay surprised me who's shaky that game. Martinez again, how was he captain? That is one thing I would say, is how was he captain? Harry Maguire was on the pitch. Like, I don't even rate Harry Maguire, but ever since Ambrose came in, he's been somehow one of our best players. It's mental. Give him the captain, not Martinez. Martinez was shocking in that game again. Like, the thing is about being a short centre-back is there's no problem being a short centre-back if you have the agility to get around, if you know what I mean, athleticism, to win headers, to jump up. It just seems like he's lost that. He had it when he first got here. Now he can't even jump. He's 5'3", he can't even jump to 5'4". Like, it's genuinely mental. Who else in that game? I'm worried about Ahmad now. Last few games he's gotten wasteful with his decisions and he just keeps shooting from everywhere. And hopefully he doesn't turn into a situation where he gets stuck in the mud with the rest of these players. That's what I put it down to, by the way, for new signings. If new signings start playing bad, it's because they've been infested with almost the virus that this club is, where the standards are on the floor and they just match the standards they're seeing on the pitch. It's happening with Mazraoui, and hopefully it's happening to Gary. It's hopefully not happening to Ahmad. Højlund, what does he do? What does Højlund do? Genuinely, as I said before, he just plays like he's Roman Reigns. If you want to be Roman Reigns, go ask Triple H, mate. If you want to wrestle, like, it's as simple as that. He'd happily take you. And the Xerxes sub, by the way, to 30 a minute. I was thinking about it. First I was like, yeah, you know what I mean, thank you for making a sub. But why start with that in the first place? That's one thing. That's the first time I'm looking at it and being really pissed off with Amorim, because I'm like, you have, in my opinion, you're up against one of the best midfields in the league that consists of Joe Linton, Bruno Guimaraes and Tonali, and you're playing nursery home midfielders who can't run in Casemiro and Eriksen as the 2 8s, and they're playing Xerxes at 10. Why even start with that? Why not start as... Now, I don't rate Manu's an 8. I don't think he is an 8. But he was the best player when he came on the pitch. Why not start? Why not start with Manu and Eriksen, or Manu and Casemiro? Why do you have to hook Xerxes to 30 a minute? And the fans cheering that are disgusting, by the way, trying to blame Xerxes for why we're so bad. Xerxes doesn't play every single game. He's not our number 9 that can't get a chance for himself or actually hold on to the ball. He's not the reason why United are shit, quite frankly, and it pisses me off, to be honest, that he's getting the blame for all this. people trying to scapegoat Xerxes. I don't think that's what Amorim was trying to do, by the way. I think he knew he got it wrong and he had to make a change. I personally would have took off Eriksen. I think Xerxes was bad, by the way. Anyone who wants to look at it and say that Xerxes was awful, he was a 2 out of 10. But he offers more than Eriksen does nowadays, in my opinion. The reason Eriksen cooked, by the way, in that end of Ten Hag era, the end of Ruud, the interim section, is because he was given freedom and he was able to just ping long balls and he was able to drift in space wherever he wanted. The reason he doesn't work in an Amorim system is because it requires a lot of intensity, a lot of running, and he can't do that. That's why he would have hooked him. Because at least Xerxes could run around a bit and offer something different. Why not even just wait till half time, even, I'd say. No, I think it was wrong, in my opinion. That's annoyed me a bit. But look, we're playing Liverpool Sunday. Might do watch long for it. Might have Dan with me. Or someone else. This Liverpool game, I genuinely think it's going to be 4 or 5 easy. This is one of the first Liverpool games I'm looking at and go, we literally have zero chance. Normally you look at it, you're like, oh, it's a derby, etc. Derbies throw form out the window. No, we're cooked. We're absolutely cooked. Yeah. The fact we're not getting reinforcements in January, just write the season off. Just let me sleep till next August. But look, that's it, lads. That's basically a shorter, obviously, episode, just a recap, really. Recap/preview. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And I'll see you in the next one.